This subject is on Malachi 4:2. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall." This has to do with Charles Taze Russell and the Bible students, or the Russellites. This is a website called a Restoration Light site, and he is a YouTuber called Reslite, and he pops up once in a while to defend Charles Taze Russell and his writings. So this is on the winged sun disk, the occult symbol, which Charles Taze Russell used on his Studies in the Scriptures volume, and Joseph Franklin Rutherford also used it on the 7th volume. So this is a symbol that was used in ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon. Fritz Springmeier exposed Charles Taze Russell in his own books, and here I just want to read a little bit where it says, "We are not sure why Fritz Springmeier quotes Mr. Smith above, but it appears to be to establish that the phraseology in Malachi 4:2 is being borrowed from heathen idolatry. If this is so, then we have to ask, was Malachi lying when he said that these were words of the Most High Yahweh? Was Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Jesus, guilty of sun worship in saying the words recorded in Malachi 4:2? Is the Bible a heathen book for mentioning the kind of symbolism that Russell utilized artwork to depict? And if this symbolism that Malachi recorded means that Russell is a Mason, would it not also mean that the prophet Malachi was a Mason, or that the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Jesus was a member of the Mason Society? The reasoning is of itself secular, saying, in effect, we assert that this symbolism is a Mason or Rosicrucian symbol, and therefore, because we assert this, we further assert that Russell was a member of the Freemasons. Thus, based on this, our assertions are a fact, and thus the fact is that Russell was a Freemason because we have imagined and assumed this to be so." First of all, because he used that symbol doesn't mean that he is a Freemason. To me, it only means that he used an occult symbol so far. The prophet Malachi would have known better not to use an occult symbol from ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon, etc. A prophet of God who was used in God's Word, the Holy Bible, to write Malachi 4:2 would have not have represented that verse with that occult symbol. That just does not make sense, and I'm sure Christians would agree with that, unless you are a Russellite. I found a book, and believe it or not, it's called New Light from the Great Pyramid. And if you want to pause this, you can read it. This is a book. It's from 1893, very old book. And it is on the occult, and it takes scriptures from the Holy Bible and twists them into various meanings. And that's what the occult is all about. For example, in use of the Great Pyramid, Giza, the Zodiac, and all of these things listed. I will look on page 35 and I'll show you what I found. We have the winged sun disk here, and it says, "But further, Taurus is etymologically connected with the Hebrew Torah, the divine law. Torah becomes in German Thor, the god of war, Tyr, an animal, and Thur, the exact equivalent of the Greek Thura and the English door. Again, Tor is the Hebrew name for the turtle doves whose use as offerings is frequently prescribed in the Old Testament. The above illustration is an Egyptian representation of the Taurus Thora bull with the Pleiades dove, Tor equals turtle dove, and the Sun of Righteousness with healing in his wings. So we have an occult book using this occult symbol to describe Malachi 4:2. Really? Is that so? Another thing that's interesting is Charles Taze Russell believed that Jehovah lives in the Pleiades, in the Star of Alcyone. Joseph Franklin Rutherford also believed that for a while, and they both also used this on the 7 books in the Studies in the Scriptures. So, there you have it. And they both also taught about the Great Pyramid of Giza. So, here's some new light for Jehovah's Witnesses. And I just thought I'd pass it on to you. You can do with it what you will, and I'll leave the link for this book below the video.